This is a sky. How the heck do you draw that? I think skies can be one of the easiest backgrounds to start with, but easy doesn't always mean simple. So today I'm going to be showing you how I learned to draw the sky from my illustrations. I first made a board for various skies and clouds for reference. This would help me learn the shapes of the clouds, the colors that normally appear depending on what kind of sky you draw. I also looked at some images of how clouds framed people, but I remember how much I love the skies in Ghibli movies. So vibrant skies and clouds that just look so edible. After gathering the references, I started on my I worked in Clip Studio Paint. I started with a chunky brush, but it wasn't giving me the look I was going for. But then, I found the pointillism brush. The edges are soft while the middle is hard, and can determine the opacity if you change the density of paint setting. From the studies, I learned that clouds are like any other form. You just have a lot more areas of shadows and highlights, kind of like curly hair. It's also an organic shape, but you can basically make them any shape you want. So if you want to make a cloud that looks like Mario, go ahead. Using shadows on your base layer can make things easier, because you'll have your darkest shadows and the lightest ones picked out because you have a smooth gradient that just shows you where they are. After I got the hang of it, I was really excited to apply what I learned to my... I started by drawing some of my characters on the screen. They're lower because I wanted more storytelling and staging for the characters when they come in. So we're gonna start with the daytime sky. First, I started with a blue gradient that matched the regular daytime scene based on the reference, then a lighter color at the bottom, with an extra color for a smooth transition. Next, I drew the shapes of the cloud. I sketched them out, and because clouds can be any shape, I picked a heart for our star-crossed lovers here. Yes, it is adorable. Next, I used the pointillism brush to add the base of the cloud. Fun fact, this color is not yellow, it is somewhat green. I added a gradient for the shadows to indicate the light was coming from above, and then added another layer for shadow with the same color to define it more, giving it a rough but clear shape. Next, I added in a darker blue shadow for where the light really cannot reach, and used all of that to render the clouds, making it more fluffy, giving it more definition, and adding like little details into it. Then, wherever I saw fit, I would add some stray cloud strands coming off the cloud to make it look more natural and vibrant, and added some details like light rays, grass, and colored everything in based on how the sky was, so the blue shadow and a warm yellow lights for the characters. And just like that, that's our first sky. Well done! But there are many other kinds of sky. Let's take things up a notch, shall we? Next, I wanted to make a night and sunrise sky for the two characters to show the difference in personality. The same process applies to both, but for the night sky, I added in stars and used the glow and blur layer to make them seem far away. The brushes I used for the stars were the sparkle brush and the glitter brush in various sizes, just to get the big and small stars. And because this is a nighttime sky, I had the clouds being lit from below. You can make it from the top of the clouds, but I wanted to show that the sun had just set just a little bit ago. I also used a dark shadow and base color because the sky does change how the colors of the clouds will look. But that's not always the case. With the sunrise, I was guessing a lot with the colors because of the reference. The best way I can describe it to you is that the sky woke up with a flashbang. So there's this hard contrast between warm and orange hues and darker cold blue hues. So I went with a more dark purple for this one to lead the rendering of the colors. But you get the main idea. There's still some other skies we haven't finished. Oh, what about this one? So the aurora was tricky at first. After making the background with a dark blue and even adding a little bit of snow at the bottom, I started adding random colors that were bright and saturated to give it a more unique look. That did not last long. using big strokes later on. Next was figuring out how I wanted to make everything look like streaks in the sky, but still going up like it does in my reference. I tried blending it in, but then I remembered the motion blur tool. So I selected my layers and used the motion blur to make things go up, but still keeping the streaks of color intact. Huzzah! After I did the process and adjusted the colors, used the gradient map to make everything cohesive because I do not know colors, added in glow effects and stars with a nice glitter brush, and bam! We have another pretty sky in our arsenal. Now we've done all these skies, I really want to emphasize the importance of creativity. With all these skies in your arsenal, I'm sure you must really be happy to know how to draw all the clouds and effects. But it's not just that. You gotta add your own spice to it. With my sunset sky, I was gonna use a lot of references, but to make it more realistic. But then I thought, well, there's no fun in that. So for this scene with my characters, I decided I was just gonna use what I learned and let loose. You all have what we've talked about, and now that you can apply it, you can make skies that you're genuinely happy about. The colder, warm shadows, the bright lighting of the sun, even the way I added dark clouds in the foreground. This one looked really good to me. So even if now you know how to draw the sky, take that knowledge and just run with it. Because once you do, it's gonna be a whole lot more fun. If you like this video, please comment what other tutorials you'd like to see from me. I'd like to keep making more of stuff about backgrounds because, well, they are a struggle, and I really want to help other people. I also have a lot more videos of my characters and design stuff that I've made, so if you really like that, check that out. And I will see you next time. Bye bye!